Hi. See, I got the countdown right. Welcome to episode 369 of the UK's number one show to do vaping, the UK Vape Show, broadcasted from the UK. Of course, as you can see, there is no Adam. Why is he not here, Aidan?
He's got the shits. Again, so obviously everything did go right with his holiday in Turkey. He ended up being Ibiza. And he's come over, he's blaming us, the UK, for getting him the shits, not Ibiza.
Not Ibiza. Well, that's street food he's probably been stuffing his face with.
Or them nightclubs. Disco biscuits there.
Yeah, so instead, we have got the other bro, Mr. Mark Soliomi. How you doing, Mark? And of course, we do of course have little bro, Aidan. How you doing, Aidan? We will pick on Aidan first. What are you sucking on?
I had a early in the evening. I'm back on the Pure Max. Thank you very much, Vic. Back on the Pure Max. Absolutely love that. In there, we've got some of that Haiti, as I call it. It's probably not the one, which is blueberry and raspberry. Really, really nice. A bit of retro stuff. We've got the last bit of the Curious Curdle Rochford project in there with the Gen 200 and is it the eye taste? I think it's the eye taste. The eye tank, that's it. I really like this one. It's got a right nice big screen on it.
Back when Vaporesso actually made mods.
Really nice.
We've got the hand as well.
The Thelma. I think that looks really, really
fucking
nice.
That looks fucking horrible.
I really like it. With the K-Fun on top. Now, you would have, if you went to Expo, you would have seen in the casino places, there was an e-liquid company called Drifter Bar Salts. So, the way this went was, you had a taste of this, didn't you, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
In the K-Fun, freshly wicked. So I tried the lime and the lemon. It tasted like Lemon Pledge. It has got, it has got a little bit better as time's gone on, but I haven't vaped that much of it. But I had another vape of it today, and it's getting a little bit better, but it was like Pledge, wasn't it, Mark?
It's Jiff.
But this company keeps getting better. So the juice is what...
Really? How is it getting better?
Well, I had the watermelon ice. That tasted like spearmint bubblegum.
Okay.
It was nice, a little bit sweet, but it was nice. But I wouldn't have called it a watermelon ice. I would have called it a spearmint gum. That's what it tasted like. I then had the peach ice. So that tasted like, what they're called? Lockets.
Yeah, so it's cherry.
So not the cherry one, obviously, the lemon one. So it got the nice honey bit in it. And then obviously that outer bit, that's what that tasted like. And then this, peach ice tasted like it. And then this mojito ice didn't taste anything like it either. But it wasn't actually bad. But I just think they've got the naming wrong on the juices. But
I wonder if they've got a bit mixed up. I always remember going to Expo, one of the very, very early Expos, and Eco Vapes.
Oh, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. From Nottingham. They just brought out their version of Mother's Milk when Mother's Milk was the big thing and everything. And obviously I'd reviewed for them and he said, "Oh, Mark, yeah, here, some more Mother's Milk for you, as a thank you." I said, "Oh, thanks ever so much." So cracked it open. Those were the days when you had nicotine in them. Mm-hmm. Cracked it open, mint. So I went back to him. I says, "You taste this." And he goes, "Oh, no." And I found out later on that day, the whole batch of their Mother's Milk was wrong.
Oh.
All of it.
Jesus.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
Fucking lucky.
We've also got the Asmodus Minikin Pod Kit. I'm really enjoying this. A lot of people got these Expos. You got one, Mark. Vic got one.
I got one. I ain't cracked mine open up yet.
What I like about this is you can change everything on it. So you can change the outer bit on it. You can change the pod actual size. You can change the battery. You can change the board in it. So you could change absolutely everything. You can take it all apart by just doing 2 screws underneath there, and you're off. Really enjoying that. Really good flavour from it. Again, I've got some of the Haiti, as I call it. Bit of retro. We dug the Cold Steel 100 from EH Pro, which is still going strong. Yes, and that's got the Geek Vape Z tank or Z tank. In there, we've got the award-winning Yorkshire Stripper. I told people that this would win an award when I first ever tasted it. That is really, really nice. And a couple of honorary mentions. I've been on that minted as well from King's Custard. Really, really nice. Loving the Legio as well. A nice bit of lemon from there. And obviously I did the, which we'll talk about later, I did get up there and did the cloud comp, which didn't go too great, but we'll talk about later. But the wonderful Whiplash from the Shy Tots. Over to you, bro.
Well, I've not got a plethora like you have, but I have got bits and pieces. I'm on the Helheim with the Dreamer Clutch. You know me. What am I going to be on? In that, I've got Pixie Juice's Sultana and Pineapple, which I'm absolutely loving.
How's the Sultana taste?
Beautiful.
Right?
Honestly. Absolutely.
Sultanas and currants.
What am I saying? Sultana, Satsuma.
Right, fuck, I was wondering there. I was like, Sultana?
Do you even vape, bro? How'd you get a Sultana mixed up with a fucking apricot?
I'm new to this.
I'm a beginner.
Leave me alone, I'm a beginner. So I'm on that. I'm on the Infinity mod.
You sure?
Yes, that Skull Infinity mod. Helheim on top. I've got a thing for Helheims at the moment. In that, I've got Creme Cons Lemon, which is lovely. It's basically it's a lemon biscuit.
All right.
Yeah, it's custard cream.
Oh, I'll go with that.
With lemon, yes. I'm also on the...
You were calling it King Dong then.
Yeah, I know, I nearly did, didn't I? The heavy hitter...
Oh, the King Dong!
I want a big King Dong. Have you seen my big King Dong?
Okay, sir. We'll take a look later.
Pleased to see you. Got my heavy hitter with the Dead Rabbit Max. In that, I've got PB Custard from Johnny's Juice.
Ah,
Yeah.
good custard,
It's only a
that one.
10ml bottle, that.
Yeah, in a
hands.
lamb's feeding bottle.
That's it, that's all I'm on.
I guess it's my turn. The usual Taita setup. So it's the Taita AIO with the Taita RDTA, and that I have
That's
got
the one
some-
that they can't afford a battery door into.
Yeah. And they're bringing out another one. They're bringing out another one with this bit missing and this bit missing, so the whole fucking battery's exposed. And I'm like, fucking why? Why?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's other companies doing it, and it's the in thing. It's fucking Aspire's fault. You want to know what started it? I'm on a fucking rant now. This started it. This, the fucking ragga. They done it so everyone else is fucking copying Aspire. Fuck you, Aspire. Anyway, moving on.
How you feel?
And that I've got some own peach custard. Pure Max, and in the Pure Max I have got a rather nice liquid from Vape and Brew, Bunny and Darren's shop. They held me this over at the expo. It's kiwi, guava and passion fruit. It's basically a disposable style flavour, and the idea is when I got this bottle it was filled up to here and it was mainly concentrate, and you just keep dumping all your nick shots in up to whatever nicotine level you want. So I dumped it up to 10 milligram. Fucking phenomenally nice flavour this. I'm already halfway down the bottle. Look at that. So yeah, we're in the
Reviews
Pure
will
Max.
be coming out on the Surname channel.
Did two really nice ones with the chocolate that I reviewed. It's Midnight and something else. Really two nice chocolates. One white chocolate, one dark chocolate.
Yeah, there was one too. Yeah, they brought three out in
Caribbean
one
one as well.
I just love this because it's fucking tropical stuff, and I love tropical stuff. Q Mini, back on the Q Mini again with the Osiris 25mm, and I've got some fabulous Rochefort Projects Black Vine with a beat up bottle. However, because I fucking vape so much of that stuff, he sent me essentially half a litre of concentrate. So yeah, thanks Jay. That way I don't vape all these warehouse. What else have I got going? Griffin 25 on the zombified Michael, and in the Griffin 25 you can tell it's because it's rather cloudy liquid. I've got some onks from Flu-Eyed, It's a new company, you've probably not heard of them. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Don't have anything else going. Yeah, that's definitely it.
Thanks so much, Tomer. Are you okay, brother?
Tomer, so let's just jump straight into this, shall we? Some of you, most of you.
To the right.
Bye bye, Rishi. Anyway, moving on before I get copyright struck. No doubt some of you, or most of you, have seen the video that I popped out today. Mr. Rishi Sunak, in his infinite wisdom, decided to call an early election on July the 4th. However, this also means that every single bit of legislation on the table from the Conservative Party that have not passed into law yet has to go through the wash up period, which is basically, well, it's finished now for today. It's going to be Friday, and from what I'm led to believe, Monday and Tuesday as well. Now, Penny Mordaunt, who is the deputy whatever house something or other, read out the bills that are going to be put on the table for the washout period to try and get the bills legislatively passed. Now, for this to happen, the Labour Party and the Conservative Party both have to nod their heads like parrots to get that bill to pass. Rishi Sunak's vape and tobacco legislative bill was not on the table. Which means either one of two things. Number one, he dumped it like a hot potato, figuring, well, too much fucking hassle, bye, or it's going to be forced through an open business, which I highly fucking doubt. John Dunn from UKVIA says the bill's dead, because he's been hearing it from other Conservative MPs. The bill is dead. Rishi killed it before it went to the washout period. So, there we go. Bye-bye, Rishi. And there's a good possibility of bye-bye
Shrek
high
makes
taxes.
a good point there. Obviously, it's Monday's bank holiday, so that they're not going to be coming in their bank holiday, are they?
Was it a bank holiday next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So unless they rush it through tomorrow, I don't think there's any way it's going to be getting in, is it?
No, I don't think it will. No.
No.
And I think this goes back to one of the things that we said right at the beginning when everybody were all sort of panicking and doing stuff. Just hold on, let's just wait and see.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing we could do. You couldn't do anything.
No.
And now it turns out Rishi himself killed it by not only announcing an early general election. If he held on to what could have been an October election, that bill would have passed. It would have passed.
I mean, he
up
could have
probably
waited
before.
until January, though. I think this. I was saying it to my wife yesterday when we were announced. There's something more to this.
Yeah, there's something that's happening or happened in the
I think
background.
surely you can see it. There's been infighting in party for so long that I think it's got to the point where it's just an unworkable government. You've got to look how many actual MPs have crossed over over to the Labour or gone independent over the last 6 months, and how many people have because they was trying to do a vote of no confidence, and I think a lot of people still hold a bit of a grudge to him for stabbing Boris in the back, whether you liked Boris or not. He was the main instigator of stabbing Boris in the back.
He was.
All these other little cronies have all come out of government, haven't they? Grove and all them, and
yeah.
And I just think it's come to the point now where they can't mess up anymore. They've blatantly just gone, fuck you, the public, and we'll do whatever we want.
Yeah, that's what it turned into. So here we are in the UK. The big question is, as I said in the video, is the disposable ban linked to that original vape and tobacco tax bill? If it is linked, and the bill's trashed, it means the disposable ban's not going to take place because it's no longer part of law. If he didn't link it and it's a separate vape disposable ban bill, then disposables will still be banned in April of next year. That's the big question, and John Dunn doesn't know. He doesn't know if Sunak linked it or not because nobody knows what the hell Sunak was doing. So right now the disposable ban is up in the air, and on the other hand, the whole tax thing, like the shitload of tax they were planning to put in, that's been binned, essentially. Just
But
totally
also, if I'm right, I mean, I haven't watched you What's Up, but if I remember rightly, the Conservative will not talk to UKVIA
no,
because
they
I was
won't.
talking to John, but John was saying that Labour will.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's
Labour's, yeah,
interesting.
Labour's more than willing to talk to not just UKVIA, but what's left of the NNA and the IBVTA. They're more than willing to talk to them. So I'm just hoping, right? Because let's face it, Labour's going to win the next election. It would be a fucking miracle if the Conservatives squeaked in with a slim 2-seat majority, right? Labour's going to win the next election either in a coalition government or an outright majority. My worry is, what is Labour going to do next? That's what my big worry is.
There's two things there, like you've said. Number one, UKVA was actually invited to Scotland, though, wasn't they, to take part in theirs, which was nice to see. The other one is, I'm really hoping that the disposable one is already gone through.
So do I.
I'm hoping that that's linked. So then what they can then do is, well, look, we've looked at the disposable side of it, which they're saying, well, let's think of the kids and all that stuff. I'm hoping that they can that's gone through, which then it'll give, just say it is Labour that gets in, it'll give Labour a chance to get in without having to think, I've got disposables to look at, and then start grouping everything back together again. Because at least if the disposable side's already gone through, it might give us a little bit of break for them to do a proper study and go, look, how are we going to do this properly, and set it out properly of how it's going to work.
But I mean, let's face it, John Dunn's already worked that out by having the licence.
Yep.
But the health minister has already turned around and said, no, we're not interested in doing a licence, basically because, it's the vaping industry looking after themselves. And that's what she basically said.
And from what John Dunn said to me at the expo, which we're going to be talking about after we've babbled about this and got the bit into the Conservatives a little bit more, because fuck you, Rishi. What John Dunn was saying is, there is members of the Labour Party at the backbenches who are willing to support a licensing structure. They're willing to support it.
Again, whatever that's coming out of the Labour sort of camp, especially when it comes down to like the health secretary and stuff like that, we all know that once they get voted in, they have a reshuffle of the cabinet anyway. They always do. Anything can change when it comes to what they're actually saying to you.
Yeah.
But the licensing isn't just the thing. There's lots of other little bits. The licensing, the money's got to be done to get the tax right. I agree that there's got to be some sort of tax because that'll just keep them happy, but not so big as how they've done it. Not charging people 3 or 4 times. Let's make it a little bit simpler. Let's make it easier, and do it right.
Well, I mean, even the Conservatives totally admitted that they didn't even know how they was going to get the tax.
Yeah, they don't know. Some of them said they just outright fucking said it.
Well, again, having Stu here, Valentine. I hope you're all right, Stu.
Oh, and by the way, I know you're watching, Stu. There's your seagull right there on the shelf.
He had a bit of a bad belly, apparently. It was all the squirrels he'd been eating. But watching, because we both sat down and watched little bits, and he was like pointing stuff out for the Australian bit. And how the Australian head of police, I think he was, or something to do with that, basically saying there is no way we can actually enforce this.
Yeah.
There's no way we can actually take it off of somebody. Then what do we do with it? Because there's got to be a process of where do I then put it? And then do I fine them? We haven't got enough police officers as it is to be able to do it. Why don't you go down the lines of like you've done with alcohol and drugs and stuff like that? You've got to have a license to be able to do it, blah, blah, blah. And how bad it is in Australia?
Let's face it, we've already got a law.
Firebombing shops.
Yeah.
We've already got a law saying that if you're under 18, you can't vape. We've already got the law there. The law's already there.
It's not
being done.
Yeah. Half of the TPD, I bumped the mic up almost as far as it'll go. Is that any better, folks? But half of the TPD laws are simply not enforced. That's the big problem. They're not enforcing the laws that are already out, which caused the problem with the disposables in the first place. Simple as that. If they enforced the current laws, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in right now.
Exactly. And we've said this all along.
Yeah,
if
we've said it for years.
If they looked after his own blooming trading standards and gave them the blooming powers that they should have, it would save half the problems. But no.
The problem with the trading standards, it's underfunded, and
well
you've got to think,
underfunded.
for years they couldn't catch underage drinkers. For years that they haven't been able to stop snide cigarettes. For years they've not been able to stop snide stuff.
Yep.
So that's the problem. And it's all right saying we're going to put another. Was it a 35 million towards fighting teenage vaping?
Something like that.
Yeah, similar.
35 million is absolutely nothing for the ginormous country that we are. It's nothing. How many people's wages is that? So just say they're on 30,000 a year, which that's supposed to be the minimum that you can live on.
I'm sure
That's not a lot of many people working between Scotland, England, Wales, and Ireland, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. It's just not enough. I mean, all we can basically do is wait and see, because the Labour Party is not going to be stupid enough to tackle vaping in the first 100 days. Again, John said that. They're probably going to start mentioning vaping after the first year in power, and that's when we'll know more. But as of right now, if other business in the wash-up period sessions does not include the vaping bill, which it probably won't, as of right now, technically speaking, the UK vaping industry is in a no man's land for the next year and a half.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, at least for the next year and a half, until Labour gets settled in and they decide to tackle vaping head on. But I'm with Aidan. I am hoping that the disposable ban has actually passed into law, because if that gets pulled along with Rishi Sunak's main bill, then the whole industry's wide open, and the first thing that Labour will go after is the disposables, and they'll try and lump everything else in with the disposable bill at the same time. So I'm hoping that disposable ban has actually passed. I'm hoping it has.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. But it is good news. It's another thing that day that we survive, and it's good news. Fingers crossed, obviously, that they don't get rushed through. But again, we don't know what's coming. Obviously, it's a big voting on July the 4th. Why July the 4th? I don't know.
That's a weird one. Independence Day for the US. That's a weird date to pick.
Also, the
let's
other
face
thing
it,
as well is you don't
we've got
think
6
that he's thinking there's going to be a lot of people who are out and about, because obviously it's midsummer.
Yeah.
Also, football's on. Euros is on.
And it's not just
There's
that. I mean,
sport.
you've got the script, because I think that lands in the middle of the school summer holidays as well.
It
So
does.
people are going to be on holiday.
He was mentioning that.
Some people are going to be on holiday. They're not going to be here.
Yeah.
And I don't trust these postal votes.
I've never been a fan of postal votes. Nope.
No.
Nope. Anyway, that's enough
Like you
of
said, Mark, he had till January, but I don't think he had any more time in power. He's got to go.
Yeah, I think he panicked. He panicked and went, fuck it, we'll have the election now. I think that's exactly what he did. So
Well, I
anyway,
was saying to Stuart Valentine, he would talk about what his thoughts are, on it and all that. But I'm one of these. I'd rather suck it and see somewhere else than what we're actually getting now.
yeah.
They've been in long enough now. I think if they get in this time around, they'll have been the longest party ever.
Yep, ever. Because if they get
They've
in,
had more prime ministers than anybody else has
oh
had,
my
haven't they?
god, yeah, they went through like they went through like something like 3 prime ministers in 2 years. I mean, hell, Liz Truss lasted 40 days.
You were fucking brilliant.
40 fucking days. That is shocking.
Oh, what did we start off with? We started off with Cameron, didn't we?
Cameron
Yeah.
and Clegg.
Cameron and Clegg.
Then it was Cameron
was
himself.
May took over, didn't she?
Yeah, so it was Cameron and Clegg. Then Cameron won the election, so it was Clegg by himself. Then it was May. Then it was Johnson. Then who came after Johnson?
Trust.
Was it not
Yeah.
May after? Was it not May that came after Johnson?
No, May. No, she was before Johnson.
All right, so yeah, May, Johnson, Truss, Sunak. That's 6. I think we're missing a couple here, or it might be a couple of terms we're missing. But yeah, they went through a lot of leadership elections
And a lot
after
of them
Johnson
wasn't
left.
Voted.
Yeah, I
They
know.
didn't vote for any of them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
most of them weren't voted for.
They weren't voted for.
Trust after Johnson. But yeah, so it's got to change. Half this. I watched a thing on a woman she's single. She's got 2 kids, and she's working, and she's obviously sending the kids, then going to work, and just trying to make ends meet. And she's like, I just can't make ends meet. And there's so many out there who are in that situation now, where even if they can just make the ends meet, they're not living.
Yeah,
they're surviving.
Surviving.
And that, and I think the more you look at people, even the middle classes are having this sort of trouble now. They haven't got that dispendable income that
everybody's being squeezed. Everybody's being squeezed. Anyway, that's enough of getting the boot into the Conservative Party. Since there wasn't a show last week, we're now going to talk about the Expo because meh. So all 3 of us, because I was thinking, oh God, Adam's going to be here and he's going to be sitting in the corner all quiet, but he's not here. And all 3 of us did go to the Expo. So general thoughts about general thoughts, not so much about specific things to do with the Expo, but how do you 2 chaps feel the May Expo went?
Me personally, I felt a bit deflated, if I'm honest with you. Obviously, a lot of us go to meet people, and it's not so much the expo itself, but and I felt a little bit, even though the stand were absolutely jam-packed, the fluid stand, I just expected it to be like 4 or 5 deep, but it wasn't the fact that people wasn't going to the stand, it was the fact that people wasn't there.
Footfall was down. It was fucking down. It was down. There's no way that the organisers of the UK Vapor Expo can budge the numbers in this. It was down. Everybody was saying it.
It felt like they weren't bothered.
Yeah.
It was sort of like, yeah, here's Expo, get on with it.
Yeah.
The saving. I mean, I know all 3 of us are going to say it. The saving grace for Expo for us was obviously the home zone.
Oh God, yeah.
You could have walked around. I was talking to Benny Vapes, and we was saying the exact same thing. You could have walked around Expo 2 hours
easily.
You've seen everything that you need to see.
I mean, I was thinking, what kind of state would the Expo have been in if there was no home zone? It would have been dismal, utterly fucking dismal.
Yeah, it would be.
Well, if they don't, you haven't really. I mean, all right, we understand what an expo is. At the end of the day, it's a company showing off their wares.
It's a trade fair.
It's a trade show. But the thing is, though, if they're trying to get the public to come there, which is a big footfall, the average Joe Blogs who does use disposables,
they're not going to go.
Don't go to them type of shows.
They're not going to go.
They're not interested. They're not interested in watching shows like us or watching reviews. They go down to the local supermarket or the local vape shop, get what they want. That's it. That's as much as they think about it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that hasn't changed, though.
No, it's not. It's never changed. But
that's never changed from when we were going back in 2017. It's not changed. It's going to be more of a hobbyist. It's going to. I was saying to this. I can't remember if it were on our show. I think it were on ours. Where I was saying to Mr. V, it's the same as the gaming. You're only going to have a percentage of people who sit there and play games at home, but they won't go to a convention.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Totally agree. But that's where the problem lies, though, isn't it? Because they know that the hobbyists are going to go. But they're not exactly helping the interest of the hobbyist, are they?
No, they're not.
They've done they'll do the home zone for them. But that's about it. And they've got any advocacy going off on stage. Not whatsoever. None.
Well, she was calling it smoke.
Yeah, no, exactly.
God, yeah, I fucking heard her saying that as well. Jesus Christ.
Again, though, Mark, with the problem with that is you can't make Aspire turn up. You can't make.
I'm not saying that you can.
If these companies that we really want to see aren't that bothered about the UK market because it isn't fresh and new like the other markets, then they're in a bit of a rock and a hard place, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm not disagreeing at all.
you can. We want to see more of these companies. We want to see Steam Craze. It was nice to see a Smodus back there. It was nice to see Kanga. They've just released 2 really nice pod kits.
Yeah, they have.
It was nice to see OBS back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lost Vape as well.
Yeah, Lost Vape, and they had some really nice stuff. Me and Ben M stood there for a good half hour looking at the stuff. They've got some nice things coming out. They seem to be a constant, don't they? They just keep pushing them out.
They do. Sean Lynch, how you doing, Sean? I think what's going to end up happening, I said this in another live show. I think it was either proper live show. I think what's going to end up happening is, if the disposable ban is still in place, and it's 50-50 as it is with the legislation going on, the election and all that pish, but if the disposable ban is still in place, the October Expo is going to be a bloodbath of all the disposable vendors trying to offload their stock before the ban actually hits. If the ban's in place and it's enforced sometime in April of 2025, it means the May Expo of 2025 is going to have big problems. Problems. Because a disposable vendor who makes TPD regulated disposables for the European market is not going to want to have a stand at a UK Vapor Expo where their product has been banned.
But did you notice as well there was a lot of non-TPD disposables?
Oh yeah,
and pods?
there was a lot there.
Yeah, hell of a lot.
50 milligram ones as well that I fucking took a couple of puffs on. It felt like I fucking got smacked with a train. I was like, what the fuck's
saw
that
as well
doing here?
their little get-arounds, didn't we, as well? As long as they had a charging port on the end of it, then
Yeah, well, it's like
not disposable anymore.
It's like these things.
Yeah.
With the rotating pods, and then the rechargeable. What the fuck is it? There we go. The rechargeable. This is basically a disposable, but it's been stacked with 4 different pods that you can rotate, and it's got a rechargeable base. But once these pods run out, you cannot buy the pods. The whole thing gets chucked. It's still technically a disposable, but it isn't. That's one of the loopholes right there.
And a lot of them were doing like where they were putting just 4 or 5 pods in it, just where you clicked them all in. And they're going to be such a price range. Just say you're paying £15 to £20 for one of these. It's the same as what they're paying now for these extra puff ones anyway.
Yeah.
You'll just see the boxes of them around.
Nothing's going to change. It's going to be exactly the same what problem we've already got.
Yeah.
But it all depends on how many companies make that transition from your single-use plastic disposable to something like this. If it's a small percentage that make the switch over, the problem drops down in percentage-wise. But if it's only a small amount that's doing this, again, the UK Vapor Expo's got a problem for May of next year. There won't be the huge 80% disposable coverage that he's getting right now to fill the floor space. And the only saving grace I can think about is the reason that Aspire, the reason that Geek Vape, the reason that Vandy Vape are not taking those big stalls like they used to pre-COVID is because the disposable companies are walking in with suitcases of cash outbidding them. If the disposable companies fuck off, or at least 50% of them fuck off, it means there's floor space left for Geek Vape to wander back in and take those big stalls that they used to. That's what I'm hoping anyway, but I mean, we can only wait and see. I still think that next May's Expo, the May Expo of 2025, is going to be the last one. I still think it's going to be the last one.
Do you think it's sort of time for maybe, again, I love the Vape Expo. Do you think it's time that maybe like we used to have Vape Jam and Vape Fest, and think it's now time for somebody to maybe go, look, I fancy having a go at this, see if they can get in touch with the companies and make it how people want it.
Well, that's what Pugs and the guys was saying. We need something like Vape Fest to come back.
Yeah. So where you could grab a tent and something, like I could do it in the summer, cricket ground, like we did at Doncaster, Mark. It was Bill were a part of that, Bill Richard, but they just didn't organise it properly. There wasn't enough there.
We were talking about it with Legion X and Jane, and we saw like place like Newark Showground.
Yep.
Somewhere where you could say to people, look, it'll cost you for the weekend, it'll cost you £20 to camp.
Yeah.
I'm not
See,
fucking camping. I'm going to a fucking hotel. Fuck camping.
Well, for people like you go to an hotel, but for other people like me, I've got a couple of tents. I'd stick them up and go, right.
I
Whoever
fucking
wants
hate
to come
camping.
round and sleep. Put a bit of an awning up. Everybody can all fall to sleep at the end of night. And what they did, obviously, at Vape Fest, they stuck a couple of bands on as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's right. They had live entertainment on as well. I forgot about that. Yep.
So what you've got there is if you can do it properly and maybe have the place where there's a bar and outside entertainment like that, that's a full weekend, isn't it?
But it's like I was saying, you know how they did the Manchester one, where it wasn't just vaping, there was tattooists
It was a mix.
and things like that.
It was a mix.
It was a mix.
In fact,
And
I got an award at that one.
You know how you get
Yeah,
these
it's up there.
alternative... Yeah? You have alternative clothes stores and things like that, and it makes it more inclusive for
Yeah.
everybody.
I think
So
that's a
for
great
argument's
idea,
sake,
Mark.
like, I'd bring Jan along. She could go off moosing at the crafts and all that lot and looking at the clothing and while we're looking at the vape stuff.
Yeah,
That
so
makes it
you
more
still-
inclusive festival, doesn't it?
You'd be still trying to keep it around that, and I mean this in the nicest way because I'm one of them as well. The geeky sort of stuff. Do you know, like the clothing lines and, like you said, the tattooists and people who were selling pops and people who were selling that sort of thing. It sort of goes with vaping. You know what I mean? It's anything for bearded people, I think.
It's like Jane's
And that's
beard
some of the
oil
women
and
as
things
well.
like that. Mm.
Yeah, I think that'd be something to look at. And the one at Doncaster was a perfect place, wasn't it? And
Yeah,
you couldn't get any more sunnier. Old Alan came around his braces, and then he came to the show.
Dum, dum, dum.
But yeah, I think that's something we need to look at. Or somebody does.
Well,
I
yeah,
ain't gonna clue what sort of money you need to get something like that. I would imagine it's quite a lot.
Yeah, somebody needs to organise something like that. It's not going to be fucking me, that's for fucking sure. Jesus God, no. Organising something like that, that's a big undertaking. That's a big undertaking.
Really big undertaking.
Yeah, big marquee bar in it. You could even run the bar yourself because we just used the one that Fluid had.
Yep.
Stick their bar in there, stick a couple of pumps on it, would be fine.
No,
And
I
you've got to think, if
freaking
you
not
actually
do
did that and run your own bar, wherever you had it, you only need somebody with a personal license, which
True.
Lou's got. You could make the profit and your money from the bar.
Yeah.
Easily.
At the night time, get a couple of bands on.
Yeah, a few bands on, somebody different each night, charging for camping. Couple of food stalls and stuff like that there.
Couple
You
of
see,
food
once
stalls.
upon a time, there used to be little festivals like that all over the country.
There used to be, I remember them as well. Fucking some of the little local festivals in Ayrshire was fucking phenomenally fun. Loved them.
And what it does, it promotes as well the local companies and the local cottage industries as well.
Yep.
And that's what you want.
Yeah, you know, like people like Scott Wood and Vape Smarter, the hobbyist mod maker, just like the good old days. Vape Smarter there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, people like that, and like Barry and the Fluid people. I remember what was that bloke, Mark, who come from Italy when we went to Vape Fest, and he was just sat in this tent, but these mods were like amazing, and he was from Italy.
Can't think now, but I know who you are on about, but I can't think of his name.
These mods, you know, the same as Oscars and the same as Vape Smarter.
Right.
These mods were just out of this fucking world. And he'd come from Italy. With
There
his
were them
wife.
guys that were making the stands as well out of all driftwood.
Oh,
Was Scott
They were there.
Wood there that time when we went?
Sorry?
Scott, if you're in chat, let me know. Have you ever put a stand in Vape Fest? Because Tom was there, Tom Maggs as well. He had the
Yeah.
age chips, didn't he? Did you see him at Expo?
I seen him.
I didn't know.
Yeah, we and me were stood together when we saw him. We were at a motor stand. Yeah, he's had a little baby.
God bless him.
Yeah, I thought it were amazing that a man could have, but there you go. And he's only very small, so
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's had a little baby and everything's going good. So yeah, it was nice to see Tom Maggs.
Does he need a manager?
Was it what for his baby?
Well, be his manager. Get a fair few pounds out of that one.
Are you still on about the
Imagine
baby?
the sponsorship.
No, Scott said no, he wants him, but there was somebody there who did the same sort of work like what Scott did, weren't they? Who did all the stands and all that. Torchy, Torchy was there, didn't he?
Loads of them like that. You know, little independents, basically men in sheds.
Yeah, basically, yep.
Mark, when was the last time we saw Torchy at an expo or anywhere?
Yeah, I hadn't seen Torchy in yonks.
Torchy, yeah. Oh, Torchy, the battery dudes, he's still doing batteries, but I think he got fed up with the UK. He got fed up with the UK Vapor Expo before COVID. He just got fed up with it.
Because he were even at the smaller ones, wasn't he? Any small one that we went to, Marty, were there.
Oh, yeah.
I think the first time I met him was when we went to that Nottingham one.
Nottingham one, yeah. Just had a stand at side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, I think little festivals really ought to be kicking off all around country.
And it's not just that; it's the smaller festivals, because it's smaller. The plot and your marquee intent is gonna be a fraction of the cost of getting one of the stands at the UK Vapor Expo, and plus you know that when you go to something like Vape Fest, the people that are going into Vape Fest are going there for one reason: to buy shit. Simple as that.
Yeah, most of them who went to Vape Fest though, they were the high end.
Oh yeah, they were the high end folks.
So you know, like somewhere where Matt Waits would be able to hang out and feel at home. Fucking love Matt. He did so well as well. He was like proper late getting in the night before he had to leave on the Sunday. But he made it. He got up a couple of hours later though, but he made it.
Do you think Birmingham is overpricing themselves now?
Oh, they've definitely. Well, classic example. Even the fucking hotels are expensive now. It never used to be like that.
No.
Never used to be like that. I remember the first expo I went to. We stayed at Kelvin Guy's house. It was me, London Vapor, Les, and a few others. The second expo, it was at the Marston Green premiere in Gale and Zan, and then the third expo, that's when we started going to the NEC premiere in. So I look back at the receipts. It was half the fucking price back then.
Well, when me and Mark went, we went, right, we're going to get this premiere in, because I did Google Maps, didn't I, bro? And I went, right, we'll get this premiere in, and you lot were staying at the other one.
The Marston Green one, yep.
And I went to you, look, we walk over the backs of it, and you're there. The only people who were there were a few vendors, weren't they, Mark?
Yeah.
Richard Vick was there, Vaping Biker, and Todd.
Yeah.
They were the only really people who were there. I think that were the first couple of times, and then, like I said, you lot come afterwards. And then if you hit the A day of it, I remember when the lads before on the UK Vape Show, I think we had 1 October there, and loads of people who was like followers of us reviewers, they just all came to the hotel, didn't they? So it was just jam-packed to just people who wanted to meet reviewers and people who were showing stuff at the expo. It was just brilliant.
Yep.
See, the thing is, though, with the Premier Inn, they shut the bar at 10:30.
I know! What the fuck?
I mean, let's face it, there's bugger all round there for you, unless you're going to get a taxi or drive. Absolutely nothing there. So they've already got a captive audience, and they shut the bar at 10:30. And
a lot of other Premier Inns that I've stayed in, you can actually stay in the bar. If you want to just sit in that bar all night, you can do. It's a hotel. But what they're doing is they're kicking you out. So they're causing problems by letting you, because you're going to sit down. You're better in that room than being outside, aren't you?
Yeah.
of course, yeah.
But
See, I don't understand why they do that as well.
I'm totally looking at maybe getting somewhere else.
And I'm basically with Aidan, like one of the smaller hotels that are close to the World Resort area.
See, I'll talk to Louise. Even if we didn't do that, even if we went, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll get one of them Airbnbs. And even if it's like €5 in and €5 out, if you're splitting that between 5 of you, it's just €1 each.
Euro?
And if sorry, I'm thinking of Ireland. I've been watching Ireland on there. It's £1 each. Where did I get fucking euro from? It's £1 each.
And not just that. If you end up getting an Airbnb, you're much more closer to actual pubs in Birmingham that you can go to.
Yeah, chippies.
Yeah.
You know, like if you didn't fancy waiting 7 hours for your food and spending 30 odd quid, the food was just totally. The food were alright-ish, but waiting was terrible.
Oh, their fish and chips was phenomenal. I'll give them that. They know how to do a good fish and chips over there.
I'm not surprised. It's just out of a bag. They just bang it in. How long does it take you to wait for an ice cream sundae?
Yeah, I know. What the fuck? The wait time was fucking horrifically long. And it's not just that, right? I got one of those Premier Plus rooms that you pay extra for.
You start Stuart Valentine off on that.
The carpets were stained, the seats were stained, there was fucking chunks out of the wall. It looks like somebody had fucking splattered blood on the ceiling. I'm like, are you fucking serious? The place is a mess.
Again, there was handprints all over the place. It looked like somebody'd smeared stuff everywhere. It was horrible. And that was when we left. No, it was terrible. It was really, really bad. Stu were fucking going mental because there was no fridge. I went, well, what do you want, a fridge or a bed?
Can't have both.
Can't have both. But
just a room with a fridge.
When Stu said he were coming over, I'd already booked this. Literally, there were me, Vic, and I think Mark H in October last year, and I booked it there and then.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't remember if it were a Premier Plus room or that one. The Premier Plus, you just get a slide-out bed.
See, I got a box standard. Well, I mean, originally I wasn't planning on stopping because obviously how Jan was. But obviously Jan's a lot better now, so I thought, sod it, I'm going to stop. Because I wanted to come to Saturday and Sunday, and I got mine for 89 quid, which was a standard room.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Mm.
Scott Wood, me and the missus' room looked like a painter's radio when we left. It was a great weekend, for fuck's sake, Scott. Jesus Christ.
That's not wrong with that. Which one were you covered in it? I'll tell you what, though, his missus is absolutely beautiful. She's amazing. She had me in giggles. And we were talking about, I think you were out there with me, Mark, weren't you, when we were talking about how the girls normally take the crochet. And she said, I brought mine. we should have brought Louise and Jan. They could all done a crocheting circle.
Look at that, crochet fest.
Crochet fest, yes.
That's something for your OnlyFans, isn't it? How she's I don't know whether I should ask this because it's not good. How's she getting on with the stopping smoking?
Oh, that's right, yeah, because there we go. Scott
and
just
still
answered.
not smoking.
Not smoking. Nice one.
Well
and
done.
Again, I always said this. A lot of people think it's horrible if they fall off the wagon or all like that. Just think of the ones that you're not smoking. They're the ones that are saving your life. That's the way to look at it.
Exactly. It's all about the ones It's all about the ones that you don't smoke. That's what it comes down to.
Don't punish yourself.
No, I think it was Mickey Love, Late Night Vape Show. I think he got her all started. Well, he took her in a corner for some reason. I'm not quite sure what for. But that was probably the same time, Mark, when Scott was having 5 guys.
Yes, he was having 5 guys, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the bird? Jesus fucking Christ.
He sat there thinking, what, on a can of sweet? Nicky, are you okay, buddy?
Right, let's open the post bag. Sorry, folks. Adam is not here to read them out in his dulcet tones, so you're going to have to...
Vic, just before you do that, can you remember when we were at the expo, a gentleman came up, and I can't remember his name. He'd done them all there.
Oh, it's these things. These are fucking phenomenal, what he done with these.
Yeah. What was his name?
I can't remember.
Oh, I can see his face, and I'm so sorry if you're watching. I know you. We met you loads of times at expos when my head's not working. But yeah, that one's for Adam, and that's the one he did for me, which is absolutely brilliant.
Because he knows I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. Well, it's kind of obvious because I've got the right there. There we go. And he made me this, and I thought that is fucking cool. That is so cool.
Like that one, Vic.
Yeah, like that one, exactly. And you've also got the same TARDIS sign I've got, except mine's up in that wall. Also, I've got to give a big kudos. Where is it? Can't remove all this crap. Hold on.
Oh, you've got to look at this. This is beautiful.
Because I got this from Mr. Scott Wood. Heavy fucker as well. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
He managed to get the 3D thing going with the old Vaping with Vet logo. That is fucking, and it's fucking heavy. Heavy lump of wood, this. Very nice. Thank you very much, Mr. Scottwood. Thank you very much, sir. That's going to be featuring in any
That's beautiful, that.
any rebuildables, which they don't really make anymore, so, you know. Anyway, post-bag time.
Well, you've
Let's
got
get...
enough in that cupboard.
What?
You've got enough in the cupboard.
Yeah, but that's old stuff.
Doesn't matter.
No, it's made by Scottwood, Cicero. It's not made of Scottwood. Ew. Caster's questions. Let's order these by most recent. Oh, guess what? We're kicking off with Mr. William Dobson at the very beginning. Fluff, Planet Shuffle, age can't remember. Just a quick thought to all casters. You have an opportunity to have dinner with 3 other people from non-fiction. Non-fiction. Who would you choose? And I'm guessing it's dead or alive.
It's got some of his special polish on it, though.
Jesus.
I've told you, Scott, as well, you only get a bucket and a half, and the way you're spreading that around, son. Non-fiction at a dinner party.
Yep, 3 of them.
Non-fiction.
Non-fiction, so it's real life people. I'll go first. 3 people, it's obvious for me. It's blatantly obvious. Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr. Done.
I'd go for Bernard Manning, Hitler, and Sam Smith.
Sam Smith?
Yeah, it's going to be a good fucking conversation, isn't it?
Who would I?
Good Sam Smith.
Mum. Okay, I'll go for Roger Waters,
Ooh.
Gary Newman,
Ooh.
and Albert Einstein.
I didn't realise they were German.
That's an eclectic mix.
I'm an eclectic person.
It's a very eclectic mix. Anyway, thanks for that, Mr. William Dodson.
Oh, honestly,
That's
I didn't know Albert Einstein was German.
Yeah, Jewish German. Jewish German, that's why he left Germany when Hitler took power. He went over to the US.
You were on Chase today.
So, oh Christ.
He was on the chase.
He was. The best thing about it was when I was watching him, the only thing he was talking about was that this new gadget, you can start saving for your gas.
We've got Mr. Connor Smith. Is he in chat? Can somebody time him out? I don't think he's in chat. Pity. Hello, it's your friendly neighbourhood blind, occasionally prosecco drinking blind vape. You said blind twice. Why did you say blind
what
twice?
do you expect?
Connor?
You don't know what he's typing.
Oh, actually, that's true. Question for all casters. If any of you got into Parliament and voted in as Prime Minister, what would be the 3 things you'd change? More specifically to do with either new or current laws within the United Kingdom. And to keep the tradition going, Vic goes... Fuck you, Connor. Vic goes last. Take care. Looking forward to the UK's... #1 show to do vaping, broadcasted from the UK, your friendly neighbourhood, blah blah blah, blind cowboy. So, you're in Parliament, you're the Prime Minister. What would be the first 3 laws you would put in place? And it doesn't have to be about vaping.
First one, I'd take back everything that was privatised. Put everything back so it's run by the government and for this country. My second one would be that I would help, after seeing Clarkson's Farms, right? I would proper help every single farmer that's out there and get as many things that we can get here in Britain done in Britain. So we are self-sufficient.
Actual meaningful subsidies, in other words.
Yeah. Give these people the money that they need to be able to survive, not where people are having all these foreclosures on the farms because they just can't sell what they've got, and really help our farmers, which they've been a massive part of our country for a lot of years, just like British gas, British coal. Obviously, we're not going to go back to the coal. Steel, British Steel, the railway services, the councils as well. These all need all helping. When was the last time you watched a bloke come outside and pick litter up, or one of them things go past that you to clean the streets? It's either here nor there nowadays.
Fuck, I haven't
every
seen.
day.
Yeah, you mean the old street sweepers with the brushes under them?
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of those for fucking years.
You used to be there all the time. You'd have a bloke going around with a little trolley thing picking stuff up.
Fucking hell. I haven't seen one of those for years.
And the third thing is I would do my best to stop food banks.
Yep.
Yep.
Obviously, it's one of the biggest things that people are using nowadays, that just to be able to survive. I think the people who need a cushion and need a little bit of help need that help. I think the people who would just use the system needs to be weeded out, but not for the people who really are trying. Some people have complicated living circumstances stuff where they all fall under it, and then that's where you end up with the homeless, how bad it is at the minute. So yeah, that's the three things I'd do. And world peace.
I'd like to honour this.
I like to teach the world to sing.
To be honest with you, Aidan, I think you've said basically what I would say. I can't think of anything better than what you've already said anyway. No, what you've said is bang on. Yeah, I totally agree with everything that you've just said. Yeah. So I'm going to follow my brother. Exactly.
Oh. Okay, my turn. First of all, bring in proportional representation. Get rid of the first past the post system, because the first past the post system sucks balls. Proportional representation is what it should be. That way, no one major party can hold power for the amount of time that the fucking Conservatives had. So, proportional representation. That's the first strike. Second strike, down the same road as Aidan. Get rid of the privatisation of everything and bring it back to basically government ownership. So the railways. Get rid of the privatisation that's happening in the National Health Service, pump in more money, bring the NHS back up. Basically, yeah, everything that Aidan said, and remove one of them and pop in proportional representation. That's basically what I would do.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. We need proportional
Mr. B,
representation.
big love.
Mr. B, how you doing, sir? So yeah, Connor, that was a good question, even though you made me go last, you fucker. I'm going to fuck this name up. Parvez Shaf. I think that's how you say it. Parvez Shaf. I was at Expo and noticed a lot of illegally probably means illegal big puffs on display. Do you guys think that this loophole will work? If so, and for how long? Also, as a consumer perspective, do you think that they will appreciate these types of devices, especially when you have to keep changing pods, etc. We'll be interested to see if these big puffs blow up the market. I think what he's talking about is the stuff like this. I think that's what he's talking about.
Which has been on the market underneath the shelves probably for the last year, 2 years.
Oh God,
Yeah.
at least a year, couple of years now. Yep. But
I look at it this way. If they can't regulate it now, when they ban it, how are they going to regulate it? They've moved the goalpost to make it look bad.
Yep.
Now, let's go for the basics. Why are people getting the illegal stuff? A, because the batteries are bigger. 2, there's more e-liquid in one disposable. That's why they're going it. So it's a problem started off from the TPD when we had to go down to 2 mil capacity.
Yeah.
That's where the problem lies. So if they got rid of the 2 mil capacity in the TPD and the battery size in the TPD, they probably wouldn't have as much of a problem with disposables.
Exactly.
Underhanded disposables.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sort of like you can, when you start looking at the problems that we've already got, you can start looking back and seeing where the original problem started from. And if they hadn't have gone down the 2 mil capacity, there wouldn't be a need for underhanded illegal vapes.
Yep.
It's as simple as that.
Big shout out to Faye, Sensor Yetkin as well. Thank you very much.
Just
We'll get another beer in October.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think if the TPD hadn't have come in as it came in, now what you've got is whether you like disposables or whether you don't, you've got certain companies, such as Geek Bar, who are a very well-known company connected to a very big company. They come out with legal, TPD compliant because they are that type of company. Now, if you then didn't have the 2 mil capacity in the battery, what you'd be able to do then is they would come out with bigger puff devices, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And you know where you're getting them from. But because there's that 2 mil, what TPD brought in, you've then got other companies going, fuck that, we're selling these all the way around the world. And that's where you're getting the undernided, snidey, whatever people are vaping on, and that's your problem.
Yeah.
And half of these
mean,
people...
let's face it, I would actually like to find out, I should say, I would be quite interested. When we say under the counter and the snided, are they just the ones that they're selling in Asia? Are they the ones that they're selling in America? You know, places where the actual limit of the actual capacity isn't there. Is it still the same e-liquid?
I think you'll probably have a percentage that are like that, but I think there'll also be the ones that are coming from Silk Row on Manchester.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing.
So I think that's more down, and the problem is the people who are actually selling them in these shops haven't got a clue. They're just one of them vapey things. That's all smoky things as they call them. But yeah, that's the problem, Mark, and I think that's caused a lot of problems along the road with the 2 mil tanks.
That has. Just to answer Mr. William Dobson's question in chat, Vic, do you think the Science and Tech Committee will meet to make new changes because because the current government is dissolving midway through next week? Any committees, including the Science and Tech Committee, has dissolved with the government. So basically, there is no Science and Tech Committee right now. We're going to have to wait until Labour gets into power, or whoever's going to win the next election. It's going to be Labour. But it means that the Science and Technology Commission is now going to be headed not by the Conservatives, but by Labour, with the Conservatives making up the rest of the seats around the bench. So it's going to be, number one, I'd like to find out who's actually going to lead the Science and Tech Committee. I'm hoping it's somebody that actually knows what the fuck they're talking about, like the current lead, who's going to be the lead until next week. And number two, I'd like to find out what the percentages are going to be. What's the percentage of Labour people, and what's the percentage of Conservative people in the committee? If it leans heavily, and it depends how the majority goes, if it leans heavily towards Labour, that means that the Conservatives are going to have zero voice in the Science and Tech Committee. So we can only wait and see. What we won't hear anything about Science and Technology Committee meetings to do with vaping until about 6, maybe 7 months in to the first term, like the first year of the first term. So right now there is no Science and Tech Committee. There is none. It's gone.
I don't know about you, Mark or Vic. We've been, what was it, 2018 when the TPD came in, wasn't it?
Yeah, roughly then.
Yeah, roughly about that. I think it was May 2018. So since probably 2019, 2020, we've been sat here talking on shows about how long it will. We've had false little starts as well, haven't we? Where we've been thinking, I tell you what, they're going to rewrite this, and then we thought when they come out of Europe, they were going to rewrite it again. So we'd come away maybe from the 2 mil tanks and maybe still be able to sneak and maybe to have nicotine actually in back in our vapes. But it hasn't. It's took a roller coaster sort of ride where we don't know where we actually are, do we? We don't.
We're that far down the list of things that they're more interested in.
Yep.
We're so that far down it. The only reason why it was brought up this time around, one was the councils was complaining about disposables and their places being blown up.
The letter.
Second, all the blooming disposable vapes being littered around everywhere.
Yep.
And it was local councillors that are sort of like complaining and bringing it all up. So they tied it in nicely. Oh, yeah, well, all this vaping with kids. So it makes them do something. But
no, TPD wasn't enforced on 2014 in May.
No, it wasn't. May
2018.
May 2014 was when the white paper was originally brought forward by the European Parliament. It wasn't until the end of 2016 where it actually passed into law, and it was like the end of 2017, beginning of 2018ish when it actually got embedded into law by itself.
It was either 2017 May or
when that white
May.
paper went out in May 2014. they was basing it on information that was 2 years older than that.
And the best thing about that original white paper, they were saying at that point in time that mods like this with external batteries should be banned, and all mods should only have internal lipos. And it was at that point where Dave Don got angry.
Yeah. And there was also having sealed tanks as well.
Yep.
So, so if they wanted sealed tanks and they wanted internal batteries, isn't that disposable?
It basically is. I remember that it was fucking this was before the NNA, when it was originally Dave Don by himself and all Dave Don's followers. People don't realise.
Prior to that, they was trying to get vaping to be medical licensed.
They were, and that got scuppered. But people don't realise just how much we owe to Dave Don. Because if he didn't go to Brussels and actually camp outside the European Parliament with a megaphone and scream bloody murder at them for 2 weeks straight, we would be fucked right now.
Yeah.
We would
Him
be.
and Dr. Farsalinos.
Yep, Dr. Farsalinos as well. I mean, can you imagine it? Internal LiPo mods only, and I think one of the white paper amendments saying no higher than 50 watts. Was it 50 watts or 55?
Yeah, something like 50 watts. Yeah,
no higher than 55 watts, sealed tank, no external batteries. We'd be fucked right now. It's royally fucked. The original TPD was scary.
It was.
Scary
very, very
stuff.
scary.
Anyway, on to the questions. I almost forgot we're doing questions there. Thanks for that question, Parves. Very nice one. Sean Garb, I think he's in chat. How you doing, Sean? If Labour says that a priority is fixing the NHS, yet vaping, a proven and very effective smoking cessation tool, plus the smoking ban now being shelved, do you think the Labour Party will change their stance on anti-vaping? Quick answer to that, they already are. They already are. It's a select few of the current shadow front bench that are anti-vaping, but as Aidan says, there's no guarantee they're going to be in the government.
No,
no
I know
guarantee.
that is it West Streeting? He's
The Shadow Health Secretary.
Yeah, he doesn't like vaping.
Again, they've got quite a number of vapors as well in the Labour Party.
They do actually, and some of them vape openly. They openly vape. Storm, the last I seen of Dave Don, I think he not only bought a Harley, I think he bought another trike, like a trike bike, because
he's got a caravanette now. He's got his own channel.
His own channel, he's doing holiday things.
Holidays.
He's been buying all sorts of stuff, Dave Don. He's enjoying his retirement, essentially. That's what he's doing, and well done to him. He deserves it because he's done a lot of work.
He always reminds me of like some sort of history teacher.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
History or geography or something. The way he talks to you, where he calms you down and like, sit down, you're all right, talk to me.
I mean, that guy went to New Zealand and helped with New Zealand.
Yeah. He went everywhere. He went fucking everywhere. He laid the foundation for what we now see as actual advocacy. If it wasn't for Dave Don, there wouldn't have been a new nicotine alliance.
No.
There wouldn't have been one. Simple as that. He done a lot of work. A lot of work.
And I again, Mark, when you obviously I first came in casting with you when we were on last at Summer Vapes, then when I started reviewing as well, you was always a massive supporter of the NNA.
Yeah.
And obviously I came in the same way as you. I followed what you did, and we supported them. And they used to do stuff, but I don't seem to see anything from them.
I think the NNA lost their way.
He's rhyming.
Roughly about Vape Jam, when the Heat Not Burn.
Oh, the Heat Not... Fuck, I forgot all about that. The Heat Not Burn fiasco.
They
Fuck.
went down that route of promoting Heat Not Burn.
Well, they didn't
And then they went even further, because then they went to Norway for the snooze.
Well, they didn't promote it.
But they supported it.
They didn't promote it. What they said was that it was harm reduction.
Oh yeah, it was harm
NNA
reduction.
Stand for harm reduction. So again, as whichever you want to look at it, the ICOS or the snooze is better than
Oh yeah, in
smoking.
degrees.
Not in the
yeah,
same percentages, but they didn't sort of back it, but there was sort of saying, look, the snoozer did.
Yeah, the snooze they backed 100%. They
100%.
backed it. And the heat not burn they backed.
But again, backing, I don't know how far you go with that. What again? Their harm reduction.
Well, it's still a harm reduction, irrespective. But that's when the NNA changed.
And I know that I think it was around about a year and a half to 2 years ago, some of the big names on the NNA board upped and quit at basically the same time. So the big names that you used to see, like when Mark was there talking for the NNA, you had some of the NNA board backing him up. Most of them are gone. They left.
We really did, we, Mark?
You what? Sorry.
We didn't really have them backing you up, did we? Jessica were lovely.
Yeah, Jessica would go.
Yeah, I think she's gone as well.
And another bloke turned up. I think we did a lot on that stand that weekend.
We did well. I stood
I
in
went
front of a load of people and talked about 10ml bottles.
Yeah. Funny as hell. But they're called the new. What's it? The new nicotine alliance. There's not much about vaping in there.
There isn't. They are they are a shadow of their former self. The NNA.
Are the NNA a part of vape? See, my problem with IQOS, and I'm sure it's the same as anybody who's watching. I'm probably snooze. They're both nothing to do with vaping.
No.
So what our problem is we didn't want it lumped into the whole point of vaping. Why? It was novelty tobacco.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a part of vaping. Let you have self.
Shouldn't.
So if somebody does want to choose that and they're going to stop smoking and use it, that's down to them. But not putting it all into vaping. But does the NNA stand for that?
Well, to be honest, right now I don't actually know what the NNA stand for because they haven't made it fucking public. They haven't said a damn thing, mostly for the past couple of years. They've been practically silent.
I mean, if you go onto their website, which I go in sort of like once a month to go onto their website, they spout a bit of news, but it's more about different countries than it is ours.
Yeah.
So it's more about Europe than it is the UK. That's the thing that I've noticed over the years.
I've noticed that as well.
All the money and all the effort that they put in and all what they did for it just to go to what it is. And a lot of people, obviously because John Dunn is out there and people knows his name, people know his name and stuff, they seem to aim for him. But like when we had him on the show, he's not for the consumer. He's there for the actual trading part of things.
He's a part of a trade organisation. That's why.
Yeah.
It's part of a trade organisation, but he does do. And there was stuff that John was telling me at the expo that obviously I can't talk about right now because it's all hush hush. But when, and let's face it, Labour's going to win. When Labour get into power, the UK VIA is going to be jumping straight in there, straight in.
They need to get in there.
Oh, they do as early as possible, especially
let's face it. I mean, when these the debates was going off, they didn't allow any representation from the vaping side, which I think's a kangaroo court straight away.
They didn't. But things are going to be different under Labour. At least that's what Labour are saying, because they're willing to listen. Things will be different under Labour. Good question, Mr. Sean Garr. But Mr. Paul Doling, who's still living in my tent under Bentley Bridge, he's been there for years now.
I keep around there. I keep leaving a couple of cans and a couple of loaves of bread.
Just one for Vic, please. What are the Pure Max PX Blue pods like? The blue pods give you basically the same flavour as the original pods that launched with the Pure Max, but the blue pods are not leaky, or as leaky as the original pods were. So you still get the same flavour, there's just a little bit more cotton around the pod, and the blue pods do that. There we go. They do that. There's an update to this series, which is the second line of blue pods. Can't mention nothing about that right now because it's under NDA. But they're going to be launching very, very, very soon very soon, and those new line of blue pods are going to be replacing the current slidey door pods that you're seeing right now. Again, same flavour, no difference, because I've got a whole stack of blue pods right there. I haven't noticed any difference in the flavour. The only reason they're bringing out these newer line of blue pods is to stop some of the leaking issues with the 0.6 and 0.8 pods that's been plaguing the Pure Max over the past couple of months. So there we go.
Yep.
That answers that question. Martin Saunders.
Martin.
How you doing, Martin? Laird Mullen. Apparently I'm a laird now. I miss your political rants. Well, not a lot of people do, because people get pissed off when I start talking about politics. I give you the floor, oh here we go, to have a good rant about the GE general election being on Independence Day and whether Rishi is subliminally planting independence messages in public opinions. This is the freedoms for Scotland. I don't know why he made it July the 4th. It's an insane day to have it, because like up here in Scotland the schools are on holiday. I don't quite know how it works over in England. I think they're either going into the holiday by July 4th.
Again, it's end of June, probably same as Scotland. It's only about a week or so different.
Yeah, so you're going to have a load of families off on holiday that won't be able to vote. You're going to have a load of families probably, and if it's really fucking good weather on July 4th, people are going to go, I'm not voting, I'm going to the beach to fucking sun myself.
Is that the point then?
So like I said earlier, that's exactly the point. And you've got the Euros on at the same time.
That's
football.
Yeah.
So what you're going to have is you're going to have a set of people in England, which England, hopefully, fingers crossed, do well. Could be in the semi-finals, because that's what you're sort of getting around that time. I think it's July the 11th normally when the final is.
Well, I don't care, because Scotland never makes it to the fucking finals anyway.
Well, you're in it.
Oh, we're in it?
Yeah, you're in it.
Oh!
I know, I was surprised as well.
Fucking surprised at that as well.
But yeah, he totally knows what he's doing. But it's that stupid boy, you know, like these ones that go to university, never been on the street, and they all think that you're thick as shit when you're not.
Yeah.
They're not wise. So you can imagine them all sit around, what can we do? How can we change this? Well, I'll tell you what we'll do it on the 4th of July. Everybody be away.
Yeah.
They're not going to vote for Labour. They'll vote for you, sir. They'll vote for you. Yes, great idea. Let's go.
Although thinking about it, the majority of Conservative base support are basically your old age pensioners that live out in the fucking suburbs. They're not going to be fucking off on summer holidays. They're still going to be here.
They're going to go, look, we haven't needed the heating on since March. Look at these wonderful, wonderful Conservatives. They made it warm. No, it's summer, love. It's summer.
It makes you fucking think.
And obviously they've changed the rules as well now. If you haven't got like a passport, or you haven't got a driving licence, or you haven't got some sort of form of ID, you can't even vote now.
You can't even vote. Yeah, that's right. You can't fucking vote. They've tightened down the regulations and fucking ID and shit as well. I forgot about that too. Fucking hell. Yeah, I know, Shrek.
99% of people are going to have it, but...
I know, Shrek, it's Scotland versus Germany for our first game. We're going to be fucking hammered.
It's the group stages, don't worry about it.
We're going to be fucking hammered. Good question, Mr. Martin Saunders. Next question from Booyah. I think he's still in chat.
What a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
Be honest. Who are you going to vote for in the general election? I was... If I'm not going to rant about this because I've done it in fucking Facebook already. If the Scottish National Party didn't turn into a massive clusterfuck over the past 2 years, I'd be voting for the SNP. But no, they can go fuck themselves. I'm voting for Labour. There we go. Fuck the SNP.
Go on, Mark.
Like I always say to everybody, I vote between me and my conscience.
Oh.
Sound like my fucking dad. That's where he's got it from.
First lesson I ever learned. When you start talking about politics, who are you going to vote for? Between you and your conscience. To be honest with you, I'll be genuinely, at this present moment in time, I ain't got a clue who I'm voting for.
Well, there aren't fucking many people there, is there?
There's enough.
Well, it's like you could
I
throw
could go
your
vote for
vote behind the
Green,
Green
you've got
Party,
one
but
to
they're not
do.
going to fucking get in. You want to be voting for somebody who's going to get anybody but fucking Conservatives. At least if we've got 4 years of Labour and we don't like it, we can vote them out again.
At the present moment in time, I am so like, I don't know. I genuinely do not know who to vote for.
You want to look at their manifestos first.
Yes.
Yes, and half of them don't even have one out yet.
No. So I'm going to go for that one. I'm going to look at the manifestos first, and then I will make my educational decision. What?
And that's that. And to be honest with you, that is a proper answer.
If you don't vote, Tories are going to get in.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Good question,
And if we
Mister.
carry on that, we are going to be in such shit.
Such shit.
There is
Oh, yeah.
there is no post offices. There's no libraries. My kids can't. You know, like when I was a kid, you know, like if a group of them wanted to go and just obviously Holly's going through her GCSEs, and big shout out to Holly, she's smashing it. So she's putting so much effort in. Big love, Holly. So they used to go to the library.
Oh yeah.
All of them sit round. They didn't have laptops then. We'd write it all out, but you can't even take a laptop to the library.
Hell, half the time our public library's fucking shut. Half the time
Ours
it's
is not
shut.
down. There's not a library close to us except in Doncaster Town Centre.
Well, you know what? It's not just libraries, banks.
Gone.
Oh God,
God.
yeah. The local village up from, not here in Irvine because it's a relatively big town, but the local village about 5 miles north of here, south, Kilwinning. It's got a population of something like 15,000. The last bank in the high street is shutting down next month. They've got no more banks in the high street. None.
So again, we've been fighting this for years about the fact that they're trying to make us a cashless society.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Yep.
fucking doing it easy, aren't they? Let's make it so fucking hard for anybody to put money into a bank.
Yep.
You can't do it.
Bastards.
And they made it so Ethel has to have her pension put into a bank account. She can't just go and collect it. And they didn't think about how much that Ethel going out on a Tuesday to go and get a pension used to be probably her only day out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was a wander down into the village and maybe call off at butchers and whatever else and do a little bit and then back home for loose women.
Yep.
I mean, let's face it. Not everybody wants to use a blooming phone to do everything on.
I know I don't.
Again, Joey, yeah, you're totally right. You put money in at any time at a post office. Well, they've took all the local post offices. I think the nearest one to me is about a mile away. And then, if not, then you're going further that far away or you're going into town, which they've actually had to amalgamate it with W.H. Smith's.
Well, that's what they done here. They had to franchise the local post office out, so it's now at the back of a locally run hardware store. And the trouble is, you need to walk all the way through the entirety of the fucking hardware store. And it's a fucking big store to get to the back, and they only ever have one person at the counter, and the queue lasts for a fucking hour. What the fuck?
It's like now,
All
when was
of
the
us.
last time you used it? I haven't even got one now, a checkbook.
Fuck, I haven't used a checkbook for years.
Do they still exist?
I think
I
they
don't
do.
know.
Yeah, I think they do. They do. Checkbooks still exist.
Because you used to have your card, which was a check guarantee card.
Yep.
So they'd then either swipe it across or they'd squiggle it at the back or
remember
whatever
those.
it was. And that were a great way that, you know, like on a Thursday or a Wednesday, if you didn't get paid till the Friday, you could put the check in, guarantee it for like 50 quid or whatever, because it were about 50 quid, 100 quid. You could get cash back with it or whatever else if you were skinny and then you're getting paid on the Friday. Well, you know they won't put the check in till the day after.
Yep.
That's not clear until Monday or Tuesday.
I used to do that trick.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
How do
Cece's,
I get out this weekend?
Cece's asking checkbook. What the fuck is one of them? Christ, we're showing our age.
Yeah, we are.
checkbooks. Being able to pay a check in.
Yep.
Now, if you go to I think Santander's back open now, you put your money physically in it, and it takes it away, counts it, lobs out what it don't like, and then tells you
Scott Wood.
taking people's jobs.
Scott Wood, I am getting a van rigged up as a bank just for Ethel. Oh my God, Scott. Come into my van, Ethel. Come into my van.
Why do I need to keep pulling this? What does that do? It's how the drawer opens, love. You're about 5 minutes away. Oh, what's all this?
Oh, fuck.
Never going to come out of my fucking tweed jacket. Oh, it's gone in my pocket.
Oh.
I'm never going to be able to eat these withers. You will, love me. I'll need your teeth.
Oh, next question. Tony Jones. How many vape expos do the panel think are left? As it can't carry on like the one since lockdown. Well, I've already answered it. I think the one next May is going to be the last one.
I don't know. And I hope they sort of like try and reinvent themselves. I think
They need to.
The problem again, we go over this. Jay doesn't listen to people such as yourselves or people who are in chat. He
should,
just
though.
doesn't listen.
He should.
And there's loads of little pointers that we're giving you to make it a better show, and Jay doesn't listen.
I think it might just end up being one a year.
That's what I was hinting at over at the expo. If they were to knock out, like, maybe get rid of the October May thing and have it midway through June, something like that. Just have one a year. That might drum up, because that way it's not two a year and it's spread out. That way it's like a special event now. If you dropped it down to one a year, that might be a good idea. It might be.
Because let's face it, a lot of people have the favourites. Some people may prefer the May one. Some people may prefer the October one. But if you've only got one choice,
You've got to go.
you've got to go.
You've got to go.
So, okay, devil's advocate, where do you put this? What month?
June.
4th of July.
Everybody's on holiday. You've got all these other little bits that come to it. At least with the two of them, you've got a chance of making at least one of them.
That's
But
true.
if you're then putting it on to one date, then it's making sure that everybody can make that. So if you do it where you want it summer months, you don't want to stick it there in the winter or out. So just say you did it in June.
Well, I mean,
Kids
if you
are still at
think
school,
about
you're
it, though,
saving up for holidays.
if you think about it, though, all the other major expos, Vape Expo in France, Vape Italy in Italy, strangely enough, Hall of Vape, ignore that thing where they split it between Stuttgart because they rebound that back, although apparently this is going to be the last Hall of Vape. That's the rumour. Some people are saying it's true, other people are saying it isn't true. All of the major European expos, it's only once a year. It's only the UK that did it twice a year.
Yeah, but you've got to think that's Europe. It's a one big landmass. So from somebody who's in Paris travelling to Germany, or again somebody going over to Italy, it isn't that far. So
Actually,
it's like
it isn't.
somebody from Scotland.
So you don't want it too late in the year either, because
It'd be too fucking
obviously
cold.
you get near Christmas.
Yep.
I don't mind it being in two, but again, if it goes down to one, then we need another one somewhere else.
That's when Vape Fest pops up again. I need to refill this, guys. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's you can. I think if you just listened, I don't know how many times you're going to say about the stage. It is a useless part. What were it? 4 deep, Mark, if that.
Yeah, if that. And then obviously what annoys me more than all else is the home zone. I was sat there talking to people, and then all of a sudden you've got them screaming and bawling over the microphone, and you can't hear people talking. And that's what an expo is there for. It's not for the music. It's there to make contact with people. Social side of it as well. But it's all like for us reviewers, you go to the stands that you've reviewed for, and you interact with them, say thank you, because most of the time it's done by email.
Yeah.
It's not done face to face, and it's nice to have that face to face conversation with people. But you can't have that conversation with people when you've got some stupid woman screaming her head off on the microphone, wanting to give out 10ml bottles of free shit to everyone.
But at least Johnny and R1 Water
Do you have
they knew
that?
about vaping.
Yeah, they knew about vaping because they're in the industry.
But the last two thingies, they've just. I don't even know who these people are.
Well, I mean, the thing is,
One of them's calling it smoke. The other one's just banding around, hasn't got a fucking clue.
the rumour I heard is that the two that were up on stage were hired by that vape marketing group that runs the casino. That's what I heard, because it's the vape marketing group that runs the stage. So the presenters were hired by vape marketing. They could have hired somebody that actually knew what the fuck they were talking about. Personally, I would just get rid of the fucking stage. Get rid of it.
No, but I think the stage has got a place, but they're not utilising it. Like same as Mark was saying, why are we not having advocacy put there like we used to? You know, like there were before in expos, 3-4 years into it. They used to have like Dave Dawn doing the Vape TV. What Vape TV? What was it called, Mark?
It was Vapors.
Vapor Trails.
Vapor Trails.
Vapor Trails. So they used to have their own bit and they recorded it. So that were down at the side, and then you'd have like seminars. Like people talking all the way through, so you give people things to do.
I tell you one thing, me and BFG, we went to the cannabis one.
Oh.
And I tell you one thing, it were
He were off his tits.
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Not only did they have a main stage, you had little stages as well.
Oh.
With proper seats.
For like,
so you could actually talk and listen
There
to
weren't make-believe seats, there were proper seats.
There were proper seats. There were real ones.
You do realise this one, Mark, don't you? Because obviously with the CBD and the HTT, whatever it is now, you're making people stoned.
Yeah.
Now, when people are stoned, they will sit and listen.
That's true, actually.
And the thing about it is, when they're stoned, they don't give a shit what they're listening to.
But it was good. I mean, they had music on.
They will sit there for hours and listen to a pigeon cooing. He's talking to me. He's talking to me. And the good thing about the vaping thing now, right? You haven't got to spend 6 hours trying to look for your lighter in between your fucking folds of your t-shirt. I fucking had it here somewhere. And you spend hours thinking, I'll tell you what, I'm not getting up. And then you have to get up and then it just falls out and it was there in that fold that you didn't check. The other thing as well, can you imagine the food stalls? They make a fucking killing.
Fuck, they would.
They're not selling burgers or anything like that. They're just selling crisps, fucking chocolate bars.
Hot noodles.
Hot noodles, a fucking lot. There was shit everywhere.
Jaffa cakes.
Jaffa cakes, bourbons, they were there. It's the future. Everybody fucking stoned, that'd be ace, wouldn't it?
15 pence Space Raiders.
Oh, wow. Space Raiders, I remember those.
You can imagine somebody walking around going, what the fucking hell are they following him for? Hey, he's got some fucking chocolate concrete. Fucking... That's why they had stages and stuff. People didn't even move. It was the same bloke every hour talking about the same shit. I'm not getting up from here. I'm melting in my seat. But yeah, I think it's a good idea.
No, William, I'm not in tramadol. I've been off it for about 2 months now. Well, 1.5 months.
He has got one left though. It's in a glass box and it says break here if needed.
Break in case of emergency. That's why I was surprised I managed to make it all the way through that expo weekend without having to get that scooter out once.
Yeah, you did really well.
Yeah, you did right well. But you did look tired on Sunday.
I was fucked on Sunday night. Jesus God, and the fucking.
The thing is,
train
you know,
ride
when
back
Vic starts
home.
getting, when he starts hurting, when he starts feeling a bit poorly, because he ends up walking more and more like Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, the
His
feet
legs
go like
start
that.
here, and then
The
all
feet,
of a
yeah.
sudden they go out like that.
Yeah, the feet go like that because the knees are fucked.
Yeah. He
Saying
keeps
that when we were walking out, he were in front of us. He's like, slow down.
comes out and goes,
Anyway, good question, Mr. Tony Jones. Up next is Mr. Ben Martin, who I think's in chat. How you doing, Ben? Victor,
"Look, Ben,
how many times did you hop up and down with glee when the news of the bill being shelved came out? And what was going to be the content for tonight if it wasn't for the general election? We'd just sit here and babble about the expo, basically. As a follow-up, if the disposable ban is still in effect, do you think we will have the breathing space for that to have an impact and thus leave the adult vapors alone? Again, we don't know what the fuck Labour's going to do. If the disposable ban is still in place, which is set for April of next year, Labour, if they win the election, will get into power at the beginning of July. They won't have any real legislative power until they sort the mess out left by the Conservatives. So you're basically looking at the front half of 2025 for Labour to start having any kind of impact that they want to have in the vaping scene. By that point in time, we don't know what Labour's going to be thinking. We don't.
But also, on the positive side of that one, if people like John Dunn and groups like them can get into their ears...
Yep. Things might turn out to be not as bad. I mean, let's face it.
They're going to tax us no matter what.
Yeah, they're going to tax.
We know for
they're going to tax.
They're going to do that. They've got to reap in some of this money that people are not stopping smoking. They've got to get some of that money back.
Again, what we've said all the way through it is just hold on. That's all you can do. It's just hold on. We've got to fight the battle when we know what we're fighting. There's no point in grouping loads of people together and charging on Westminster when we don't know what we're charging for. And
when do we want it? Now.
Obviously, we don't want to be really aggressive. We'll do like a passive leaflet drop and start off with maybe a couple of badges. Sorry, read the wall. I love quiche. But no, that's what you're going to do. We're just going to wait until we find out what we're fighting. And then believe me, everybody will all be standing there. We'll all be fighting, and what we can do, we'll do. Hopefully, we don't have to fight. Hopefully, it'll be quite nice and easy, and we'll be quite happy. If we're going to pay a little bit extra, we're going to pay a little bit extra.
Yeah.
But not stupid like what they were thinking.
Oh, God, that was ridiculous. That.
But rest assured, if we do hear anything, or if there is news, I still think it won't be until next year, we will have John Dunn on to talk more about it. Because there is an open door there for Mr. John Dunn to pop on.
Didn't we also open a handout to the NNA as well?
We did, but nobody answered.
So that's it. NNA, we're asking you to come on the show and tell us what you're doing for us vapers.
And we've got a last entry here. Craig Welsh. What's most likely to happen first? Stuart Valentine gets his luggage back from Switzerland, or the Aussies beat the Yanks in the America Cup? And Stu Valentine answered, luggage back, twat.
Yeah, he got his luggage back. I will say that I did put 2 dildos in a butt plug I got from my mother-in-law in there.
And that was Caster's Questions, ladies and gents. If you do want to join the UK Vape Show, Nightbot's been spamming it. That's where we take Caster's Questions roughly about 3 or 4 hours before the show actually starts. There we go.
If you're reminded.
What?
If you're reminded.
Yeah, if I'm reminded, because I forgot to post it.
Well, you did post, just that we were on, but you didn't do the
I didn't, because I thought it's usually Adam that does stuff like that, and I fucking forgot Adam wasn't on the show.
He's going to do it. He's got toilet roll in the freezer. Obviously, I'm going to take over from a little bit of Adam. Is there a giveaway?
No, there isn't. However, there is an announcement. So, first of all...
That's not going to be happy, are they?
Who?
An announcement or a giveaway? Which one would you rather have?
An announcement, because there's no giveaway, because one of the giveaways is not quite ready yet. So as we all know, Chico is no longer making coils. Big love to Chico. Well, he's got health problems, put it that way, and he's basically winding back from the community. He's basically pulled everything out. He's no longer doing coils. I think he's actually stopped doing mods as well. He's going to be taking care of his health because he's basically not been keeping well. So we have a new coil sponsor, and he's in chat right now. It's Ian, Mr. CC Coils.
Woo!
It's not much of a big surprise because his logo's been popping up down below in the fucking banner. Also, we no longer have Geek Vape as a sponsor because, well, they've decided to pull all sponsorship for European shows. I got the email just before the expo kicked off and I forgot to announce it before the expo show. So we're down to one single hardware sponsor, which is, of course, SX Mini. And apparently, Ian wants to give away 3 sets of 0.1 aliens. So it looks like we are doing a giveaway. Fuck.
I'm sure you can have a look at some bit of juice there. There's got to be a bit of juice.
What juice did we give away in the last show?
Fluid.
So it's Rochford then. Right, hold on. In fact, the box is right next to me.
Just to let Michael Clark know, yeah, it is a bit of a weird relationship. Just don't do a car boot with her. It's fucking horrible. Which one isn't Black Vine?
I'm actually looking for a black vine.
Oh yeah.
I haven't vaped them because he gave me the concentrate. There we go. See, unopened as well, because he's giving me the concentrate now. So, we've got a bottle of Chocoleo, we've got a bottle of the Black Vine. Have I got any SX Mini stuff later? Yes, I do. Right fucking next to me, actually.
See, people, I'm the man of the people.
You just make me do more fucking work. So, which one is
send
this?
it over here and I'll post it.
We've got we've got a Quantum Black SX Mini, who's also one of the sponsors, and I'm also going to be chucking in a pack of 0.8 ohm coils. So we've got this, and we've got, what was it, what are you giving away again? We've got 3 sets of 0.1 aliens from our new sponsor, Mr. CC Coils. I think Ian's going to be sending those out by himself because he hasn't sent me the coils yet. Let's see if Nightbot actually wants to work. Giveaways. What we're going to do here, we are going to keyword, we're going to do, oh fuck.
Just while I was doing that, ladies and gentlemen, please get over to my brother's channel. He is smashing the reviews out. A bit of Soliomi. I think his thing's been coming up in Nightbot. Please get yourself over there. He's been smashing the reviews out. He had a little bit of a break, but he's smashing loads of reviews out. So please get yourself over to Soliomi and give him a subscribe and go and watch his shizney.
And the keyword for today, in honour of our special guest, did I spell that right? Too late, it's already out. Soliomi! That's the keyword for today. I don't know if I've spelled it right, just copy and paste it. Once and once only, more than once you're automatically disqualified from the giveaway. Spam away, people. On it is open worldwide.
People, make sure we're getting them thumbs up. How many thumbs up have we got? Do we know it all?
I don't know, hold on, I need to look. We are at...
Without refreshing.
48, which is
woeful. And how many's
watching? Considering there's 137 watching right now.
Right, so we want to be hitting at least, what would you say, Vic?
Go for 90.
We'll go for 90. Get them thumbs up. We will draw it at 90.
Yep.
Make sure you get over to my brother's channel. I am spamming it now. Get over there and subscribe to my brother.
Who's doing some wonderful liquid, which reminds me, I've actually got some liquid reviews that I need to do because I picked up quite a few over at the expo. Those new ones from Pixie Juice.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
They are so
Very
good.
Impressed. I do like the new logo as well.
I
think it looks a lot better.
That was a dodgy poor Aiden.
Well, you see, because Stuart can't keep up with us UK drinkers, we had loads of cider left. And when I mean loads, there was quite a bit. Hello, Stu. So I don't drink cider, so I went for a little bit of a snake bite.
Oh, so you're mixing it.
I had a snake bite in years.
I thought I'll have a snake bite, and then I've got already Gaviscon. If I ever like this, oh man, it burns you like shit.
That's why I don't drink cider. I get really bad heartburn with cider.
That's it, Shrek.
Yeah, 6 cans in the UK, but then if we do it to the actual Australian stuff, that's 12 cans.
Well, they don't get the big cans there.
No, they don't get the big cans.
Wow.
But no, they don't even have big beers.
Oh no, that would piss me off.
They don't even have pints.
Oh, it's litres there, ain't it?
No, it's so they have a what's it? He'll shout at me. So then you have
750 ml.
So your halves are less than a half to what we have, and the pints, or theirs, which is schooner, is less than a pint. Oh, less than a pint, but it costs double the amount than what it does here.
What the fuck? No wonder he was getting drunk over here, because it'd be fucking cheaper.
Every fucking day, this kid turned into an alcoholic. Are we going club? It's only £2 odd. The best thing is, I nipped in the other day and they went, when's Crocodile D coming back in? There were 3 blokes who got him 6 squirrels and 2 badgers.
Oh, Jesus.
In a carrier bag. Filleted.
Oh, well, at least they were filleted.
At least they cleaned them out. Yeah, Stuart says he's still recovering.
God, we had a good giggle. He was brilliant. I think we spent 2 weeks together, which is very, very hard for anybody to do. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was brilliant, and I miss him. His bed's still there. I've been sniffing it.
Oh, Jesus.
Smells like distressed kangaroo. Hint of koala bollocks. What are we at now?
Or a koala's breath of eucalyptus.
Koala's breath. Oh, I should have recorded him doing that.
Should have. We are at 89. One more.
One more, come on, people. Make sure you get over to my brother's channel.
Thank you for the spamming.
Anyone know any good Skittle recipes? Dying for a Skittles juice, was going to try Capella Silver Line Rainbow. Personally, I don't know any decent ones, Cecil. Go to e-liquid recipes or search for e-liquid recipes on Google and look up Skittles. Before you buy the flavour, check the reviews first to make sure you get the percentages right. That's what I always say to folks. If you're looking for a new flavour, e-liquid recipes, look at the reviews. Always look at the reviews.
Go back to like 2016, 2015, 2016. Skittles were a massive flavour.
It was massive. Fuck, I loved it.
Massive. Same as your which I had the juice done, which was Tic Tacs.
Oh,
that
yeah,
were a massive
Tic
flavour
Tacs.
as well.
I remember them.
It tastes like Tic Tacs, but it looked like beans.
Oh, we're at 97 now. Try Capella Silver Line Rainbow. I love that. What's that?
He's still got it. The
He's
Yo-Yo
still
Yo
got
juice
it.
by the legendary Les Bicken.
There you go.
You've
Mate, I
still
think we're going
got
to have
it.
a rehash of that somewhere down the line.
The retro people.
Blue
Oh
waffle.
God, the blue waffle in its original glass box with pipette.
Yeah, I
Damn.
keep all sentimental value.
Fucking hell. Where's he gone now? Keeps all the sentimental stuff.
I do. I keep sentimental stuff. I can't
No, I
help.
meant Vic. He's off to grab something. Just their minds. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, mine's over there.
Rochford Projects Profiteroles, which you only released for like 2 weeks and then pulled it. And the original, was it? That's the original lemon lush.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got to say.
I'm not getting rid of that.
Devil vapors or
Devil Vapor.
demon vape.
Demon Vapor, sorry. Looking at Dean then. Yeah.
Where's he gone?
Strange why we keep hold of certain things.
The original Demon Vapor Lemon Lush.
Yep.
Look at the colour of that liquid now.
Oh, I bet that's gorgeous, that. Looks like tar.
The things that you keep for sentimental. 'Cause I've not even opened it. Look at it. Still sealed up. The things you keep for sentimental value.
I've got all sorts like that.
Licorice.
You've got to. It's history.
It's history. Because when Demon, when it was Demon, when Demon first popped up and I tried his original liquids, I thought, you know what, this guy is going to be staying around for a while, and that's why this particular bottle was in the cupboard left unopened. And then he changed the name because of the Demon part. I think it was some kind of copyright thing or something.
Yeah, it was a copyright thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
Copyright, so he changed it to Rochford Project. I mean, hell, that's the point of that. The history cupboard. Half of the mods in there are shit, but I keep them for sentimental value.
You've got to.
Exactly.
It's our history.
Yep. Like that thing. People hate that thing, but I fucking love it.
It's ace. I always wanted the black version.
That's the one I wanted as well, but when they offered, they said the black version keeps going out of stock because that's the one everyone liked because it looked just like an alien.
Yeah.
Just like an alien, the way that they done it.
Yeah, you'd swear blind that H.G. Geiger had designed it.
Yep. Yeah, there
You feel
goes
that
Jay.
now?
There goes Jay. Dibs the blue Vig. He's been saying dibs in that blue alien mod for fucking years now, Jay.
Jay's got loads of mods though. He wouldn't even use it.
Well, he gets them for pennies and fixes them.
He is good.
He is good. He's definitely good. He's fixed
Anybody
a few
who's ever got
mods
a
in the
mod or
past.
anything that's broken, it's one of your favourites, get in touch with Jay.
Get in touch with Jay. He'll fix it for you.
So, are we drawing?
Oh, we're doing fuck. My mind was wandering there, which happens a
You
lot
can tell
at
when
my
he does
age.
that. His eyes go around like Stevie.
Right, anyway, let's do a draw for, what is it? Was it 3 sets of aliens from CC coils? That's a lot of coils going to one person. The Pure Max, which is the Quantum Black Edition, and a pack of 0.8 pods, because I ran out of the other ones. That's why I wanted to wait, because they're sending more in. But yeah, I've still got a spare pack of pods here. Let's do the draw. And the winner is... Roll it! I recognise that name. Brett Johnson. Is that the Brett Johnson that used to be part of Vapor? No, can't be. Anyway, Brett, do you want it?
I miss that.
Do you want it? There was a Brett Johnson that used to be part of Vapor Trails. Is it the same Brett? Come on, Brett, my arms are getting sore.
Change hand like I normally do.
Yes, he wants it. Okay, the question is Stuart in? Because I haven't seen him
I think
type
it would
in
have already
chat.
been up.
It would have already been up. I think Stuart's taking a break. Yeah. So what you need to do, Brett, is you need to email that.
Now it's there.
fuck.
Jim's in.
He always does it when I start typing. You notice that? Stuart. What you need to do, Brett, is do what Stuart's just typed in chat. Email me, victor@vapingwithvic.co.uk. Include your name, your full postal address, and your zip code / postcode if you're in the UK, and I'll get this little lot sent to you next week, and I will pass your name and address details on to Ian at CC Coils, and he'll send your aliens. Well, I know that Ian's off on holiday next week. He'll probably send your coils out when he gets back from holiday. So well done, Brett. Very well done. I wonder if that's the same Brett that used... Brett, are you the same Brett that used to be in Vapor Trails? Part of the background crew that twiddled the buttons and all that? Because I recognise that name. Don't know if it's the same Brett Johnson though. Anyway, there we go. You got your giveaway.
Power to the people.
See, just a little nudge.
Go on, Vic. Go on.
Go on, go on,
Go on. Go on.
Well, if you want a cup of tea, make sure you get the yolks. I love that stuff.
No after show, Bunny. I have got a rather busy morning tomorrow morning. Mother Dearest is off to Ayr Hospital to have the final part of her the fuck's that thing that's wrong with her eye? Glaucoma? Final part of her glaucoma thing in her left eye done, and she's heading up there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I've got to be there to bring her back because she's basically going to be blind while her eyes recover. So I'm getting up really fucking early in the morning tomorrow morning, so I'm not going to be in an after show.
That's what Grandma had, wasn't it, Mark? Little Nana.
Yeah. Little Nana, yeah, she had glaucoma.
Yeah, she was in her 40s when she went blind.
Yeah, somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, she's had her right eye done. They waited for that to heal, and then she's now having her left eye done, and that's everything all done and dusted.
Hope to do with your eyes.
Yeah, I know. Tell me
Oh.
about it.
Anything where they come anywhere near your eyes, it's just I just can't. It's just a natural thing. It's like when obviously with diabetes and all this stuff, you have to have.
Yeah,
done
they
without,
do the pressure test. Oh, I don't like that.
Oh,
Oh, where they just do that puff? Oh, I hate that. That's for glaucoma, that.
No.
it's like when they put that. Did you have that numbing stuff that they put in?
Yeah.
That's horrible, and that made me feel sick.
Well, I've got it at the present moment that the back of my retina, there's little blood vessels that have burst.
Yeah.
So I have to go and have that done every 3 months now. where
Fucking
it used
hell.
to be every 6 months. So yeah, the diabetes has actually damaged my eyes now.
I'll tell you, again, diabetes, same. It scares you a little bit. You know, when you've had like 20/20 vision, I've not had to have glasses at all.
Oh, I've never had I started wearing glasses when I was 7 years old. That's when the eyes started to go short-sighted, and it's been just getting progressive. Because look, they're fucking milk bottles. My eyesight's bad. It's fucking bad.
Again, obviously, because all my family's a lot older than me, they've all had glasses anyway. So, me being younger, I've never really needed them. But obviously now I've got a bit older, it's not
See,
good.
I never saw a doctor until I turned 40.
Well,
You fucking did.
I did.
Your mum used to take you all the time. You're right, whiny little shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
You were there all fucking time.
yeah, really?
Oh, stung me toe, me arms hurting, me eye. No, I can't remember if you went to doctor or not. I'm sure you went to Dr. Mark.
I mean, obviously, I went to a doctor, but not as much as I do now.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
obviously, you're getting older.
When you get older, things just start going
Soon
wrong.
as literally, I was fine until I hit 40, and then it's been downhill ever since.
Like, I was fine until, roughly speaking, I was fine until I hit my very early 30s. That's when the rheumatoid arthritis started to create, and I knew it was coming because my dad got it at a very fucking young age. And then the eye thing started up with the Fuchs dystrophy around about 32 years old. I knew that was coming because that's on my mother's side of the family. So yeah, you've got to take each day as it comes. That's all you can do.
That's it. But this
You're only
getting
40
older
and
is
don't
not
start
cracked
turning
up
into
to what it's
fucking
meant to
apple.
be.
You're gonna take each day as it comes. We'll be all right.
Yeah, you will be. Take each day as it comes.
That's what we're gonna be.
Well, I'm going to say though, the weight loss has actually helped because I did manage to get round that expo without the scooter, and that's the first time I've been able to do that for 4 years.
Yeah, you made a conscious effort as well, didn't you?
Yeah, losing weight, and I'm going to lose more weight before the October expo. I want to shed another 1.5 stone.
Okay, hell, what part are you going for?
Have you seen the size of my gut? It's fucking huge.
Oh, we're next to you. It's not as big as mine.
But true, but it's still big.
What do you mean, true? See, your mate there supporting you.
See, that's why I'm not drinking Guinness now. I'm on the whiskey. I don't drink Guinness
That's even
anymore
better.
either.
You're going to lose weight and become an alcoholic. 3 easy steps. Don't worry about it. You'll eventually lose loads of weight. You'll lose your family, and then before you know it, you're sat on a bench on your own going, "Who's shit in my pants?"
Thanks, Stuart. Battle of the Bellies. Thanks, Stuart. Thanks. But that's the
You're more
plan.
of a Glenfiddich man, aren't you?
What?
You're like more of a Glenfiddich.
Usually, yeah. If there's a special deal on for Glenmorangie, I end up getting a bottle of that. But it's usually Glenfiddich. Usually.
Paul McCartney's is it Glenfiddich number 12?
Yeah, the 12-year. Yep. The 12, because that's the best one. That's the best at the price range. That's the best one to go for. Glenfiddich 12. Nice smooth.
You know how much he paid for the Hilton? You know the Birmingham for a single, £15.
What?
What?
£15 for a single.
Holy fuck!
He only had one.
Really?
That's
Got
a
to
lot of
treat
money,
yourself,
that,
haven't you? You got to treat yourself.
So Louise's sister, who's like head of the training nurses, mental health nurse, she went down to London, and one single glass, you know, like a small glass of wine, that was £15. That was an NHS do.
I can walk out the front door, go down my street, round a couple of corners, and end up at the Turf Hotel, which is not really a hotel anymore. It's the Turf Inn, which is my local boozer. It's a working man's pub. It's been there for fucking centuries. A single Glenfiddich is, I think it's round about £1.90. Pint of Guinness is about £2.80.
You've not been there for a while, have you?
Well, I was there a couple of weeks ago.
What, £2.80 for a pint of Guinness?
Yeah, £2.80 for a pint of Guinness. This is what happens when you cross the border, folks. Drink's cheap because if drink got expensive, we'd start a fucking riot.
I thought you were higher up that end. Again, if we go, I'm at a working men's club, literally over the road. Guinness is going to cost me probably about £3.40. If you do Sammy Smith's, you're talking about £2.70. Lager, but if you went to town, £2.20 a John Smith's, £2.40 a pint of Foster's.
Ew, £2.40 for a pint of that stuff's piss water.
Again, Carlin, you're talking Campo's, probably around about £3.
Oh,
Campo's a good drink. You got to think we were paying what, £6.80 for Baramotti?
I mean, okay, Baramotti's a nice drink, but it's not worth fucking £6 a pint. It
Well,
really
they
fucking
were screwing us
isn't.
again.
They were. It's a good drink though, Baramotti. It's slightly sweet, but it's fucking £6. No.
I paid £4.50 for a Coke.
What's that, 3 for 100?
My fucking God. Just for a glass of Coke.
And for a glass of Coke, £4.50.
They fucking skin us alive in that place.
Hmm?
It's because they've got
£7.50 for Madrid. That's
because
fucking terrible.
they've got a captive audience. That's why they can get away with it. That's the fucking problem.
And it's not real Coke, is it?
It's not. It's that syrup shit.
water.
Yeah. John Paul's got it right.
Say that again.
John Paul's
What's-
right. John Paul Glasgow. Most pints in Scotland are relatively cheap. It is because the whole tax increase, the rolling tax increase that Westminster used to do and they've now stalled. The Scottish government didn't do it. We decided not to do it to keep the price of alcohol low because again, most of us are alcoholics up here. Just saying.
It's another thing that they've sat there and smashed a load of tax on, isn't it? Which then kills your working men's clubs, kills all your bits where people have a social life.
Yeah. And there's still
Stay in.
There's still a lot of social clubs. There's a load of social clubs in Irvine. Load of them because again the price of drink is cheap.
Again, across the road, but the trouble is we're not gaining young people to come in. They're not bothered.
Yeah.
But you followed your dad. You know what I mean? Our dad over at Road at Shoot, I was a singer as well from being 18 and in and out of working men's clubs. Football, cricket, anything. It were working men's clubs.
Yep. Anyway, should we wrap this up, fellas?
Let's wrap it.
Yeah, because we're 5 minutes over. Mark, give us your goodbyes.
Thanks ever so much for having me. It's been absolutely brilliant. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's been fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. And thank you everybody in chat as well.
That was Mark.
And if you'd like to see a bit of solo, don't forget to pop over to my channel.
Yeah,
Do some
and he's
reviews.
I'm spamming it, baby.
Mr. Littlebro is currently spamming it. Head over there and subscribe to Mr. Mark Soliomi. He's been reviewing for a very, very long time. Very long time.
Jesus.
9 years in August.
Yeah.
Jesus was on a Cool Fire 4.
Aidan, over to you.
Big love to everybody in chat. You make this show. Thank you so much for joining us week in, week out. Big love to all the spanners. And Stu, you absolute star, you.
Yes.
Straight there in the end. If you want a little bit more me and more of my brother, Wednesday with Mr. B, 3 Men and a Vape Show. We'll catch you then. Big love to you all. Look after yourselves and good night.
And that is it for episode 300. I need to check the fucking number. 369. 69 of the UK's #1 show to do with vaping, broadcaster from the UK. Big thanks to the spanners. Big thanks to Mr. Aidan Littlebro Vapes. Special thanks to Mr. Mark Soliomi. Always fun having Mark on. And we will catch you all next week with zero vape news because the UK doesn't have a sitting government. Yes. Anyway, that's it from us, folks. We will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.